all on William Street. September 1st.
Okay.
You know what I did? I gave my thing to Rob, so no one could say I shared it with anyone.
You gave what to him?
I gave him everything they gave me. I gave it to McGrady.
Oh, I put it in my.
I don't want it.
Okay, good. Okay, welcome everybody to the Town of Orangetown Town Board meeting of July 26, 2022. We didn't vote to come out of executive session, did we? Should we take a vote? Okay, you're gonna need a motion to come out of executive session.
I make a motion to come out of executive.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, sorry about that.
Jerry.
Jeremy, second, yeah. Okay, you want to take a roll call for?
Councilman Tom Diviny,
Here.
Councilman Paul Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Jerry Vitari,
Here.
Councilman Brian Donahue,
Here.
Supervisor Teresa Kent.
Here, and we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance with Councilman Valentine leading it for us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we just have one announcement that the Comprehensive Plan Committee's public hearing for the 2022 Comprehensive Plan will be on August 2nd. That's going to be in person here at Town Hall. The draft plan is on the Orangetown website for anybody who wants to take a look at it. Now we have some presentations. First, we have, where's Kim? Is she here? Oh, there she is. We have come on up. We have Kim that works for the town. She's going to make a presentation. The John Boyce Memorial Scholarship Committee presenting a check in the amount of $1535 for 7 children to attend the Orangetown Summer Day Camp in memory of Kyle. Go ahead, you can.
Good evening, everybody. Hi. Good evening, Supervisor Kenny, town board members. My name's Kimberly. I'm a resident and employee of the town and have the pleasure of working for Supervisor Kenny. I've been here over 35 years, and it's been one of the best pleasures of my life serving the residents of the town. I'm the mother of Kyle John Boyce, and I'm here with some of our committee members tonight that have escorted me tonight, and we wish to present to Eric Gordon of the Parks and Recreation Department and the town board a check in the amount of $1535. This check grants 7 children from our town that applied for a scholarship to attend the town's summer day camp program at the Germasonic grounds in Tapan for a 2-week period of their choice. When Kyle was young, he attended the summers at the town day camp for 3 years. He also came back to work as a day camp counselor for several summers and always had a rewarding time spent with the kids, and he always ensured that they had a summer to remember. So, in going and moving forward, even though we lost our Kyle in 2017 of a virus that led his heart to a congestive heart failure, it gives all of us great pride and fills our hearts with love to pay it forward in Kyle's memory, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Thank you very much. You can give it to the money man. Oh, wait, okay. Eric, let Eric get in it. Thank you very much. Okay, now we have a presentation. Mike Yanazone, I believe, is going to be making on this is rescinding a local law, this presentation regarding removing William Street as a truck route. So, Mike?
Okay. Okay, good. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Allison. So, good evening. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Mike Yanazone, and I'm the acting chairman of the Traffic Advisory Board for the town of Orangetown. Thank you, Supervisor Kenny and the honorable town board members for giving me some time to go over the recommendation from the Traffic Advisory Board in regard to this issue. But if I may, before I begin, I'd like to publicly thank all the members of the Traffic Advisory Board for their service to the TAB. They're volunteers who do their best to address the issues brought before us. Sometimes the meetings are a little bit long, but there's a lot going on in the town, and we try to do our best to take care of them with all the help that we get. So I want to mention their names, and that's Margaret Warren, Bob Simon, Paul Rasso, Bob Morrison, Jim Castagna, our town board liaison, Councilman Paul Valentine, and the late Bob Shalene, who was very active on the Traffic Advisory Board all my years of service. And I also want to thank all the professionals, advisors from the various departments who assist us with our decision-making, the representatives from the Highway Department, Police Department, Engineering Department, Town Attorney's Office, and last but not least, the Supervisor's Office, because I know I'm going to get in trouble for this, but I really have to thank Allison Carden. She's fantastic. She does a fantastic job for the Traffic Advisory Board. And not only does she do a fantastic job for the Traffic Advisory Board, but for all the inquiries that we get. Everybody that comes to the meeting, it takes about 15 minutes for everybody to say hello to Allison, meet her, and tell her what a great job she did just to get her in front of this board. So Allison, thank you very much. I also want to thank Emma Jackson from William Street, which I'm going to speak about tonight. Lives on William Street, and she's going to be a witness to all the things that I'm speaking about tonight. And Jim Castagna, who's very active in some of the public relations that go on in Spark Hill, in the town, especially with quality of life issues. So thank you to those guys as well. Okay, so let me get started. If you could turn to the back, you all should have these handouts that I sent up. If you turn to the back, I'll tell you what I'm going to be speaking about tonight. If you look at the back page, it's 39-11. It's entitled Heavy Trucking. And if you look on the back page of that, you'll see where it's highlighted. It'll say in the hamlet of Spark Hill, go down to number 5, and it reads, the 5-ton weight restriction on Main Street in Spark Hill is rescinded and the following truck routes are established. William Street between Washington Street, Valentine Avenue, and Washington Street, and Main between William Street and the Piermont Village line. If you notice, in section D there, in the hamlet of Spark Hill, there were 5 streets that at one point were regulated by a 5-ton weight limit. And it appears that they were all entered into the code on the same date, which tells me that it was probably a 6-month police regulation at one point. And somebody decided back in 1974 that these roads needed to be restricted to 5-ton weight limits, but they also rescinded the William Street, is which I'm talking about tonight, and made that and designated that as a truck route. In 1974, being from Spark Hill, I don't remember that many trucks on William Street or through Main Street or in and about Spark Hill at all. But as everyone knows, times have changed. Traffic is getting more and more, and truck traffic has definitely increased. And we need the trucks. This is not about trucking or truckers. It's about putting trucks on a road that can take them and get them out of residential areas and business districts. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is asking the town board to consider rescinding the established truck route on William Street. So I'll go over some of the points as to how we got to this issue. So the law was established a truck route on William Street from Valentine Avenue to Washington Street. The law was established in May of 1974. I can get this thing to work a little bit. So you can see William Street. I think it's right there. Right? Okay? So on July 7th, I'm just going to give you a little history of how it came to the Traffic Advisory Board. So on July 7th, residents from New Street, which runs between William Street and Union, began coming to the Traffic Advisory Board, and their concern was trucks were using New Street as a truck route. At the time, the TAB asked the Highway Department to enhance the existing route with signage to direct trucks to stay on William Street. Our Highway Department installed multiple route signs on William Street and New Street, restricting trucks on New Street and guiding them on William Street to get out to Washington Avenue. On April 6, 2021, residents from William Street attended the Traffic Advisory Board meeting to express concerns about the noticeable increase in heavy truck traffic on William Street. At the time, their concerns were noted, and the TAB confirmed that William Street was a designated truck route. Later on that year, in September, the residents from William Street attended the Traffic Advisory Board again meeting to ask if anything can be done to prohibit trucks from traveling on William Street. Once again, the Traffic Advisory Board asked the Highway Department to perform traffic counts when their scheduling permitted. On September 21st, 2021 to September 23rd, 2021, the traffic counts were completed for the first time. And these are pretty interesting numbers. The count showed that a total daily count of vehicles, just vehicles alone, were 1,020 vehicles traveling eastbound. So that's just one direction. 7%, or 66 of those vehicles, were tractor trailers. Not just trucks, they were tractor trailers. Traveling westbound, the daily count showed 726 vehicles, with 8%, or 62 of those vehicles being tractor trailers. After that, the TAB had conversations with New York State Department of Transportation personnel to find out what could be done to keep trucks on alternate designated truck routes. Our findings were limited to other restriction laws and local delivery stipulations on state highways, namely Route 9W and Route 303. March 1st, 2022. Residents from William Street attended the Town Traffic Advisory Board meeting once again to inquire about the increasing truck traffic one more time. Once again, we reviewed it. The Traffic Advisory Board requested that the Highway Department perform another traffic count to see if traffic significantly increased or decreased. We wanted to see what was going on, if actually what they were saying was happening. Once again, the Highway Department went out, March 22nd, 2022 to March 24th, 2022. The traffic counts were taken for the second time. Eastbound counts showed 920 vehicles traveled per day. 7% of those or 68 were tractor trailers, and westbound the count was 874 vehicles a day, with 6% or 57 of them being tractor trailers. There wasn't much of a change, although maybe 100 cars going in a different direction, but there was a little bit more traffic, but nothing really changed a lot. So there's 120 trucks traveling on William Street each day. That's a lot. June 7th, the Traffic Advisory Board voted unanimously to request that the Town Board consider rescinding local law number 374, designating William Street as a truck route. Okay. I'm going to go over some of the reasons why we felt that way. William Street itself. William Street, its approximate length is 0.2 of a mile, with two turns, one being approximately 90 degrees and the other being 45 degrees. The average width of pavement is 23 feet. The actual designated lane width is 9.5. That's the edge line, the white line, to the center line. So it's 9.5 feet on each side. Those are narrow lanes for tractor trailers. Most tractor trailers are 53 feet to 63 feet, including the tractor. And it's difficult for them to navigate without tracking over the center line. Residential area. William Street is home to 11 residential homes, with most having very close frontage to the road. Goswick Court is under development with 6 residential houses finished and occupied. 2 others are in the process of being built. The road intersects with William Street near Washington Street. New Street. New Street is approximately 250 feet long and is closer to Valentine. It is much narrower and runs between William and Union. 3 residences are on New Street, and 2 churches have entrances as well. The truck route itself. Trucks are traveling on William Street to Washington Street, then to Main Street and travel west onto State Route 340. Then they use the same roads when heading south or east. It should be noted, trucks have a difficult time making the turn at 340 and Main Street due to the traffic and the design of the intersection being skewed or offset. William Street and Main Street. William Street intersects with the pedestrian rail trail at Washington Street. The hamlet itself has a developing business district and is home to multiple businesses such as a dentist office, restaurants, deli, a town children's park, veterans park, proposed multifamily unit at the old bank building, a proposed new restaurant with outdoor dining, hair salons, post office, and numerous, I believe it's 6, multifamily residences above and along Main Street and Depot Square. Single-family homes are also on that section that I just mentioned. Trucks are bypassing the newly renovated viaduct over to Spark Hill Creek and are using Valentine Avenue / William Street through the business district of Spark Hill to reach their destination, wherever that may be. The Traffic Advisory Board understands that multiple jurisdictions will be affected and would need to be made aware of your intention if the town board chooses to move forward with our request. We feel this is a viable request to help the residents of William Street and the growing business district in Spark Hill. And you should have some pictures there. In your packet, you'll have some pictures there of trucks. Yeah, okay, see it up there, so just flip through it if you want. Yeah. That's William Street, where is that? This picture is at William Street and Valentine Avenue. Go to the next one. All right, this is a gas tank around William Street, heading towards Valentine Avenue. This is a truck on the turn by Washington Street. You can see he's literally over the double yellow line by quite a bit, forcing a Jeep off the road. This is looking out of the Noble Cafe on the corner of Union and Main. This truck is literally trying to make a right turn onto Main Street. It's taking out the facade of the Barrow Building and the roof. The next picture is it looks like a moving truck. It's pretty long. It's probably around 63 feet. And it's also heading through town. And the last picture is 2 tractor trailers trying to go side by side on William Street. You can see the one is over pretty far, the one with the QT or OT delivery systems. He's almost off the road on the other side. So with that, I just want to mention a few closing things. I just want to mention that this proposed change is not meant to hurt truckers or the trucking in general. It's meant to keep large, heavy-duty trucks on routes that are more direct and they can legally drive on without going through residential streets and business districts. Some alternates are. And I say this because what we see is a lot of overseas boxes coming through Spark Hill, going to and from their destination. So if they're going down to Port Elizabeth or Port Newark, they have access to the Jersey Turnpike, which also has access to, which is part of Interstate 95. It also has access to Route 287, Route 87, New York Route 59, 304, 303, 9W, and when needed, Route 304. Rocklin County also has designated routes as well that will get us from one side of town to the other side. Most of those routes will get them to their destinations, and then when they have to go off the beaten path, it'll be a lot easier. They're more direct and wouldn't affect business districts and residential areas as well. We believe that this brief summary should at least begin a dialogue with all the agencies that would be represented if we were to change William Street, just make it a residential street, and take the designation of a truck route out of it. With that, that's all I really have to say. I thank you for your time, and I hope that you guys will consider our recommendation.
Mike, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I mean, I'm just, when you see those pictures and if you know the streets, like, I know 1974 is, do we have any idea why the town board did this?
Well, I'm just speculating, but I would have to ask the attorney that represents the Traffic Advisory Board.
Yeah.
But usually when something like this goes into the town code, it's usually done with a 6-1 police regulation, so I'm thinking that possibly somebody initiated it, and possibly there was issues with trucks trying to make the turn on 9W from Hickey Street for some reason. At that time, in Tarrytown, there was a large GM plant. Car carriers, I remember when, as a kid, used to go up over top of there and try to get stuck, but that since has been gone. I've noticed tractor trailers making that turn on Hickey Street to 9W and back frequently now, and they do use the viaduct. I actually followed one today that went up Highland Avenue and was heading northbound past the Tappan Zee Elementary School. So they can do it, they're just being trained or taught to go
Right,
through Spark
right.
Hill. But I'm not really sure, to answer your question,
Okay.
I'm not really sure why that was put in there, but I'm just guessing it was a police regulation, and they were having trouble with tractor trailers.
Right.
Hey, Mike, did you talk about a viable alternative?
Well, I kind of painted the viable alternatives to be the state highways and the county highways.
So just continue up 9W.
Yeah, I mean, they could continue up 9W. I mean, if you wanted to take Valentine Avenue, this is just my opinion, you'd have to talk to the state, but if you wanted to take Valentine Avenue out of the picture in William Street, I don't see why they can't go across the viaduct and make the left turn on Hickey Street. That would take the whole business district and William Street out of the picture. It would put them on 340 at the Mountain House and head them west.
They can make that turn?
Yeah, they've been making the turn. I mean, you know, the DOT may have to take a look at it if we decide to do that, and they may have to make some changes there. But I think in the long run, they can do it. They have been doing it
So
now.
I believe there's a law that doesn't allow them to go up 9W unless they're delivering in the town, right?
Again,
They can't go through the town without stopping to deliver in on 9W.
there's a restriction on 9W that only allows trucks over 10 ton to make local deliveries.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. Right now, we were just dealing with William Street, and, you know, that's another conversation we can have another day, but I don't see why, right now, traffic cannot proceed north or south on 9W and avoid town altogether.
And if I could, just on that score, it's really the same for the street you're talking about, right? It's supposed to be local deliveries only, in any event, for,
Correct, yeah, because they
So
would
it's
be,
a
right, they
right,
would be
it-
on 9W. Right. But somewhere, they designated William Street to be the truck route. The state, I don't have that map with me, but the state, I believe, designated Valentine Avenue as a truck route, even into the part through Piermont for 30-foot trucks only. And that's even a problem. That's that little section of Piermont that goes off of Union Street.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of how else, I mean, because Oak Tree Road has a limit, 5-ton limit on it as well.
Correct.
So that takes them out of Oak Tree. Next one would be coming through the square somehow, which I guess would be Hickey. After that, you're on 9W and you're up at the thruway.
Well, they also have 287, 87, 303, and 59. So
If they
they're-
can
they're-
continue
you know,
through.
so if they were staying on 9W and they were coming up the turnpike, they have other ways of getting to these major highways and getting into the local delivery area. So I don't know if it's that would be our job to worry about where they're gonna go. They have other routes, they have alternate routes. It's just right now, they're used to taking this route, and that's a lot of trucks to put on a street that's only 23 feet wide.
I agree. Thanks, Mike.
Now, Mike, would we, presuming the town board has a hearing, would we let DOT know before we did anything, right? We would have to send them notice.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that's, I guess, what we're trying to say is we would have to open a dialogue with New York State DOT.
Because they're so receptive.
Well, and that's why I wanted to start it now. Rocklin County Highway jurisdiction is Washington Street up to Union. And you'd also have to probably include the Village of Piermont, because they have a piece of the action on Hickey Street and the viaduct. So they would have to be included. So it would be good to start a dialogue with them, but I think if they know that you're really serious about saying, hey, look, you know, we got to get the trucks off here, we got to work together, and we got to get the trucks to another place, I think that's what we have to do. And I think everybody will move in that direction, because it's just not fair to keep them on that road.
And I think in the future, there's some plans on fixing the William Street Bridge, so getting the trucks
That's
off it
correct.
earlier would be a good idea.
So, yeah, you'll probably get a good idea where they're going to go then.
Yeah,
So,
so this way they get used to it.
right. So, is there anything else?
We have to have a public hearing on this, though,
Yeah.
right? Because you're sending
Yeah.
a law.
yeah, we don't have a
Yeah,
proposal.
this is
No,
just to
there's
bring it
nothing.
to
It's
your
just a
attention.
presentation.
I
I
wanted to bring it
appreciate
to your
it.
attention so you know about it. It's going to be coming. I'm sure there's going to be some people who want to speak about, you know, their experiences. But I just wanted you to know that the Traffic Advisory Board felt it was viable to bring it to you, to consider it, and to give you some background on how we got here and what it's like now.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, if we don't have any questions, I guess we could workshop the agenda items.
Are we opening the hearing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I
No,
guess
there's no
we're
hearing.
postponing them, whatever. No, I guess we'll workshop them first, okay. So, yeah, 3 and 4 are both postponed, right? So one is Gatto Lane, and one is the Hamlet of South Nyack. So hopefully nobody's here for those, because we are putting them over. Well, actually, the one for South Nyack was not on for tonight. We're making an announcement that we're moving it to August 23rd, because we're going to be down some board members. So it's really just the Gatto Lane one that we're putting over. Number 5 is the 2023 budget calendar. 6, again, is just changing the police commission meeting from August 9th to August 23rd. We're going to have budget presentations from DEMI on August 23rd. And then we have all the departments are going through the presentations on September 7th. Then we have a special, again, for budget presentations on September 13th. 10, what, are we, this is the Rocklin County Consortium that was discussed. Are we leaving it on, or we have questions on this?
Issue on it?
So, yeah, but Rob just got it, and he asked some questions, so we're basically, I think we'll just make it subject to review of the town attorney and approval, right?
Yep.
Okay, number 11 is adopting the current base percentages and adjusted base proportions for the 2022 tax roll. 12, so this is authorizing dual assets. So remember, we did the community choice aggregate 2 years ago? So the contracts are going to be up in November. Interestingly, we had a call with them today. The prices have gone up significantly. So on the bright side, anyone who was opted in and did not get out saved a lot of money over the last 2 years by what we did. On the negative side, we don't know that we're going to have any such luck moving forward. But this basically, authorized them to go out for bid. And then we had discussions with them today. They may actually put it off until next year. That's how bad the pricing on it is right now. But anyway, this is authorization for them to go out to bid and let me engage with them in that whole process. So that's the CCA. If anybody has any questions, Allison will be happy to answer them. Anyway, number 13, this is a tax cert, settlement of a tax cert. Number 14th is granting a revocable license. I guess if somebody has something on town land, I guess. Oh, is this that one in Piermont?
Yeah, this was in Piermont, there's town property that runs behind it, the
Yeah.
rail trail.
Yes,
And there were some drainage issues there, so
Yes.
the board has a copy.
I remember
of it.
hearing about it. Number 15, settling a claim with the MTA, $940. 16, award a contract to Tilcon for milling and paving East Erie Street and Blauvelt, Highview Avenue, Orangeburg, and South Highland Avenue in South Nyack. Number 17 is approving our agreement with the Cornell Cooperative Extension, which we do every year. 18 is nominate, appoint Michael Monte, if I'm saying it properly, as a police officer. And then number 19 is nominate David Fong as a police officer in town of Orangetown. 20 is setting the fees for certificate of compliance for fire prevention. So I think it's right in here, but we have not changed our fees for fire prevention since 2012. So we met with Dave and Jane and Denise Sullivan, and we looked at what some other towns were doing, and this was what we came up with as a fair increase, being it hasn't happened in over 10 years. Of course, anybody who gets the new bill is not going to think it's fair, but, we hadn't changed it in many years. So I don't know if anybody had questions about it. We did put it on, but we can always, it's no rush. If anybody has questions, we could always push it to the next meeting. 21, accept with regret the resignation of retirement of Steve Fordham after 36 years. We wish him well. 22, appoint Kevin Mcgarvey to the Assistant Maintenance Supervisor, effective July 27th in DEMI. Then we have audit, and we have adjournment, so it's fairly straightforward. Okay, so if nobody has any questions, we can make a motion to open the public portion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So the first person we have signed up is Susan Dunleavy. I'm just going to remind everybody, it's 3 minutes, the clock will be on. If you just would state your name and where you're from, that would be helpful for the clerk.
My name is Susan Dunleavy, and I've been an Orangetown resident for the better part of the last 60 years. I currently am a member of the Orangetown Senior Citizens Club B. For the last year, taxpayer funds earmarked for Orangetown residents have been used for Clarkstown residents. The Orangetown Supervisor's Office, as well as the Orangetown Town Attorney's Office, have made it clear that Orangetown funds are not to be used for Clarkstown residents. Clarkstown residents are welcome on any trips, lunches, any activities, but they must pay the full price for being a non-resident. Clarkstown residents at this time, are insisting and demanding we pick up their tab until next year. This sounds unacceptable. Please stop this misappropriation of our scarce Orangetown funds. We're just dealing with limited resources, and I'm sure you would agree that the money allotted for the seniors should go to the seniors and the programs that it's allotted for, and not for outside areas which don't accept Orangetown residents in their programs. Thank you, and thank you for your time. Do you have any questions or feedback from me?
Yeah, so you're saying that they're using monies for Orangetown closed by Clark. How are they getting access to those funds?
So they're basically, so what's happening is they are joining a club so we give money to all the clubs, and then when they go on trips, they're paying less money, they're paying, because we're subsidizing their trips.
But
So-
who's responsible for making sure they pay
Right.
their fair share?
Well, what has happened due to COVID, all these people joined before we even opened up regular meetings again, and now our president, as well as secretary and the treasurer, they have amended. But these are the people from Clarkstown, and they have a whole 2 tables now filled with Clarkstown people that are eating up the limited resources we have. I think that the seniors I know has been a great asset to the community. It helps all those involved. But when you're dealing with limited resources, having us pay for Clarkstown residents just doesn't seem very reasonable.
Yeah, so this
Very
goes
good on
in
the
the
bus.
category of no good deed goes unpunished, but we were made aware of this situation, and, there are bylaws, there's like a master group with the town, so Denise Sullivan is looking at it. I don't know how we go about policing it, it should really be up to the clubs, but, yeah, apparently.
Can go?
What's that?
Jerry can go on it.
Jerry could go. He's putting you on the senior club. But
it's
anyway,
not
so
so
we are
bad.
aware of it. Again, again, you're a club, you have your own bylaws. Clearly, it says that, I guess the concern is that we're giving, it comes down to 2 things. One, them being there, I guess, is not a problem, but I guess they should not be having access to the town.
Right, now that the town is aware, certainly
Right,
we can look
right.
into it and see what
And
can
they've
be
made
done.
us aware that that is the new policy going forward, but they're still keeping with the policy of paying for the Clarkstown residents until next year.
Right. To be clear, though, what's happening is when they have a trip, they pay less. No one's taking them, whatever, just so we all understand, they're paying less for a trip than they would otherwise to go with the senior club. But again,
Right,
yeah.
because
I
if you
agree.
have $1,000 allotted
But
for the
again-
number of residents, the Clarkstown residents use up that money as well. And, it's a vital part of the community, and it would be great for Orangetown to be all on board.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
you very much.
Okay, Denise is going
All right,
to, Mike Mandel? Yeah.
Hey, good evening, Supervisor Kenny. Michael Mandel, resident of Pearl River. And thanks for that community choice program. It did save
Saved you a lot of money.
Oh,
People
yeah.
yelled at me when it was happening, now they should be thanking me.
That's it, that's it. Item number 10, the Community Development Program. Consortium, which includes housing. How will it affect the town since acceptance of HUD funds come with strings attached? And if the board approves the cooperation agreement with the county,
Yes.
if that could be just explained. And secondly, the solar farm that they stuck on Middletown Road in 304, I see that they've taken down the panels. I guess these panels really last a long time. Only
They never even generated an ounce of electricity. They were never hooked up.
No. Since they took them down, they're going to take down the,
It's not even funny. They cut down trees
Yeah.
in the name of the environment. They put up solar, the company went bankrupt, basically went into receivership. New York State, apparently didn't want to work with the person that bought them out. So we could have actually still had them there and operating, not that they're there, but New York State refused. And so they came in and took the valuable part, the solar panels. They left the brackets that New York State's now going to have to pay to remove
okay, then
and
that's,
restore.
so they're not going to remove it and restore it?
That, per the email I received, they're going to remove them, they're going, and restore it to its natural state. I doubt that means they're going to plant the trees that they cut down,
Yeah,
but
well, that's New
I'll
York State.
try, but
Okay. That's appreciated. Okay, thank you. Appreciate the time.
Okay. Chris Pascarella.
Hi, thanks for letting me speak. I want to thank Mike for his presentation. I just want to say I've been a resident of Orangetown for 20-plus years. My wife and I bought a house on William Street, 19 William Street, and last year, about a year ago, and we were real excited. It was a cute house. It's a cute house on a cute street, and I was pretty stunned by the truck traffic that was coming by. I thought it was like maybe a week thing or something was happening this week, but it kept happening. A lot of trucks, and we bought in that area too because I like to run, and there were the rail trails. I ride my bike, which I do many times a week, and even there I see the trucks coming by where everybody's trying to cross, and I just feel it's a really unsafe route. And I would love to see it removed as a dedicated truck route. So I'm just asking you to consider that. And thank you all for your time.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Jim Castagna.
Good evening, Supervisor Kenny, Town Council. I was made aware of the truck problem and joined the Traffic Advisory Board. Thank you for appointing me. And I couldn't believe what I found out. Those signs that say local delivery in Orangetown is written in the rules that it could be a local delivery anywhere in Orangetown. So a truck on 9W could drive all around Orangetown until it gets to its destination. This is a carryover habit from the 70s that doesn't necessarily need to happen anymore because they fixed Route 17. Remember the intersection of Route 17 and Route 4 in New Jersey, Paramus? That was a crazy intersection. You couldn't get through it. And they put in a new highway since the late 70s, 287. So if you really look at coming from Port Elizabeth via Route 17 versus 9W or William Street, the shortest time is 56 minutes via Route 17. The problem is that when these navigation systems are used by truckers, it is set up for the shortest distance, not necessarily the shortest time. You could program them for the shortest time. Also, you could also have it switch routes if you save 5 minutes. So these navigation systems, as you know, have allowed cars and trucks to find streets that no one ever really traveled on. So anywhere in Orangetown is considered local delivery, which means a truck could go up 9W to South Nyack and jump on the thruway and come back 303, and it's still within Orangetown. No one could give them a ticket for traveling on 9W because they're violating local delivery. New York state law, and in most states, you're supposed to travel use the state highway with the closest exit to your destination. And using William Street or 304 or 340 to get to 303 is not a practice that should be promoted. I mean, so they're not following the practice of using the state highway closest to the destination. And then we have the problem with heavy trucking. It doesn't say that the delivery has to be to residential addresses. So instead of having accept local delivery, it could be accept residential deliveries or liftgate service only. So that would allow the local police officers to say, oh, you don't have a liftgate, or your destination's not, to a residential address, you get a ticket. Otherwise, the police officers can't do anything. So some changes are in order. Thank you.
Thank you. Lawrence Triano.
Hello, my name is Lawrence Triano. Thank you for letting me speak. I live on William Street in Spark Hill. I've been there now for about 8 years. And when I first moved in, I always knew there was trucks and traveling and everything else going on there. But in the last 2 years, it has really doubled or tripled and getting out of control, to the point where they go by so often, you can't talk if you're in the front of the house. The ground vibrates on some of them. Even the house shakes a little in the front. My mailbox gets knocked over at least once a month. I'm trying to figure out now how to put it on a spring load so it'll come back up. I never wanted to sound like a complainer and like a type of person that goes and buys a house next to an airport and doesn't want to see the planes fly anymore. But this has gotten out of control. The scariest thing is, we haven't really hit upon it tonight, is the type of trucks that are going down the road. There are a lot of hazardous material. There's fuel of any kind, propane, gasoline. There's ones that are not labeled, just say highly explosive. I have no idea, but I don't know how the town is set up for any kind of a natural catastrophe on a small block, but it looks to me like if this keeps up, it could happen. That was all I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's Mona Jackson? Myrna Jackson? Yeah, that's okay. Got it close enough.
Good evening, Supervisor Kenny, Town Board. My name's Emma Jackson,
Oh,
and I
Wasn't
live
even close.
at 21 William Street. I just wanted to say thank you to the Traffic Advisory Board for listening to us as residents and putting the presentation together tonight. And I think many of my neighbors have already spoken ahead of me, and really, them along with the images that were shown of the trucks and the statistics, I almost feel as though my job is done for the day. But just on sort of an emotional level, the noise and the pollution when I work remotely, and I live in a very teeny-weeny house that's less than 10 feet from the street. So by the end of the day, I'm just like, ugh. It's crazy. So we really hope that something will be able to change and our lives can return to some sort of more normal situations, and we can enjoy the beautiful hamlet of Spark Hill that we all moved here to, having heard so much about it and really love it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, that's everybody who signed up. So is there anybody who did not sign up that would like an opportunity to speak? Sure.
Good evening, Supervisor Kenny and Board. Thank you for the opportunity to talk. My name is Martha Schindel. I live on Paulding Place, which is the other small road that intersects on William Street. I'm the second house in on Paulding, which is that little gravel road. But my mailbox is on William Street. I don't get mail delivered to my house. Anyway, crossing the street, I only go well after 5 p.m. because of the truck traffic and the cars zooming by. I also have a small dog. He loves to go for walks. I can't walk on William Street. There's no way I would endanger his life because you know, the line is there. I don't allow him to go on people's property, so he can't, so it's either him or me in the traffic lane. There's just no space to even walk or enjoy the community. Tonight, it's wonderful that I meet a lot of my neighbors who live on Williams. I've lived there for 30 years. We don't see each other because no one's out in their yards. No one's ever in a front yard. I don't know if you can agree with me. No one's in a front yard because the trucks all day long. It's gotten worse. It's gotten a lot worse in the past, I'd say, maybe 10 years. Since I've been there 30 years. So I just wanted to just tell you, oh, one other thing. My cable line, if it's knocked down one more time by trucks going through. I felt so bad for my neighbor because we're on separate lines. I think it was about a month and a half ago, her line was knocked down twice in the same week, and she works from home. So, you know, the cable guy just keeps coming out, putting them back up, because these trucks come through. They take out the cable lines. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, good evening, and thank you. Susan McQuinney, 66 Sickletown Road. First off, I was actually going to thank the board because the work done on Middletown Road is really beautiful, and they've managed to do it and still allow you to get into the stores, which is pretty brilliant. I just wanted to sort of make one point. We kind of all know, maybe everybody here doesn't know, but the board knows, is aware of the situation with RCW, and we all know where that situation is right now, and that's where it is. But I did want to point out that I believe it was June 14th, RCW hosted a private event for approximately 40 people. It was part of a business, does a bar hopping kind of craft brew thing throughout the summer. And it would have actually been a really good opportunity for RCW to kind of show that they had made a good faith attempt at being a good neighbor, controlling traffic, controlling noise. And instead what we had was a pretty out of control traffic situation, which really mimicked on a smaller scale what we had back in 2020. So we had cars parked up and down the street. We had cars parked blocking our mailbox, nearly blocking our driveway. I watched countless cars back out and nearly hit oncoming traffic. I watched 2 cars in the front parking lot just miss each other and honk at each other. So it was really disappointing to see that 2 years on, while they could have spent some time sort of putting some parameters into place, because I knew people who were at that event, and I asked them, were you given any instructions? Were you shown to drive into the back parking lot? And everybody said that they had not been told anything, and the few people who apparently had driven around back didn't know, apparently, that they could walk through the garden center, and I watched a number of people fairly inebriated, it would appear, kind of weaving their way down Sickletown Road as they made their way around Blauvelt to the back parking lot. So I just kind of want to make the point that nothing in the attitude has changed here, and it's really frightening to watch as the immediate next door neighbor. So I appreciate that we're all in the situation we're in, and I know that nothing else can happen right now, but I just wanted to point that out and make that known to the board. They are open every week, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they continue to manufacture and be in that space almost on a nightly basis, which means that we deal with them to the front of our house, to the side of our house, and then when it's all done, to the back of our house. So for us, it's a full day experience most of the week. Anyhow, thank you, and thank you for all the work you're doing, and I'm so sorry about the trucking. That sounds like a horrible thing. I love Spark Hill, and I walk my dog there frequently. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, I'm Jerry Goggin. You all know me well, I think. I want to reiterate Susan's remarks about the level of traffic we had the other night when there was an event at Rocklin Cider Works. Much more than there is usually. We had cars parked down both sides of the road, so there was no possibility of walking anywhere but in the roadway. And I want to point out that this situation is exactly what has happened in the past, up until the time that we started agitating about it. And it will resume just as soon as there is the slightest opportunity for RCW to do it. And what the behavior the other night appeared to suggest to me was they really don't care anything about the neighborhood, despite all their professions of being great for the community and this, that, and the other. Despite the fact that they're now getting sued in court, despite the fact that they have sued the town, despite the fact that they continue to use buildings for which they have not obtained building permits, with illegal electrical service installed there, with a complete lack of permits or inspection. You know what I'm speaking about, Mr. Valentine, right?
I'll speak when you're done, because
That-
you're so full of crap, I'm getting tired.
I'm not full of crap. We have the photographs to prove it, Mr. Valentine.
Okay, let's let Mr. Goggins finish.
So let
then
me finish what I was saying, since Mr. Valentine's referring to it, and that is that Mr. Valentine's company performed work there without a permit, installing new electrical service, as you know, because the town's own inspector inspected it and issued a stop work order.
Not for the electrical work, sir. They stopped it for the refrigeration units that went. I put in one outlet. I did one service call, and it was inspected. So you don't know what you're talking about.
I have the photographs to prove
But you keep doing
it.
your crap here every time, like
I-
what you're feeling
I have-
sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you, because I think you're a nasty person.
Well, thank you for your opinion.
You're welcome.
We do have the photographs to prove that, though, and they are in the inspector's report, so you can examine that if you doubt my words. I encourage anybody else to do the same. I'm not here to misrepresent anything. But what I'm pointing out here is that the problems with RCW are continuing, and they will continue every time they get an opportunity. They don't care about the community. We had cars parked down either side of the street. There was nobody out there supervising them. We live on a stretch of road that has had, at least to my memory, 6 serious accidents because of the bend there in the last decade. And yet, every weekend, we see people backing out of the parking lot onto the street, and frequently those people have had a few drinks. So you know what's going to happen eventually. And that's a concern for all of us. Thank you very much for your time, including you, Mr. Valentine.
Is there anybody else who has not had an opportunity to speak that would like to speak? Do I have a motion to close?
Motion to close public polls.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to try to address Mike Mandel's question about number 10. I'll do my best. The gentleman that is now taking over Dowling, right? It's Dowling that they do. Are they doing both? Both of them? Approached the town because they cannot apply for this money because the town is not in the consortium. Dennis met with them. We have the agreement. So there may be strings attached if they apply for the money. If we were to, there'd be strings attached too. But the town has no intention of going in for these projects with them. But we don't want to take, apparently there's a couple of businesses in town that have tried to get money and were unable because the town didn't participate in the consortium. So that's kind of why that's why we're doing it for the local businesses.
I have a question.
Yep.
If the local businesses decide to apply for grants and they get them, they can't bind the town
No.
by going under our consortium
No.
membership? Second, does the town have to approve the business applying for this before they
No.
can do it?
Nope.
All right, then I'm not voting for it.
No. I mean, so when we do it, because Rob did just get the agreement, and so we'll just say that it's subject to the town attorney's review, and make sure that what we've been told is really what's in there.
Yeah, some of the representations had raised a level of concern for me, so that's why I'm asking that we got to take a better look at it, and we
Right.
might be removing 1 or 2 items from it.
Right, but nothing to do with binding the town.
No, it was
Right.
more
Right, I
representations.
know.
It does bind the business or the entity
Yes.
getting it.
Right.
So like if Dowling took it, they were bound by whatever it is that's
And I think they've
Dowling's
already
thing.
taken, right?
I think they have.
Thought right now is already a HUD related. Dowling's not, but
Right.
thought is. So this would put
So any bit.
Yeah, they said 2 businesses applied. in
Rob,
the-
any business can apply under this consortium membership?
It have to still meet the criteria.
No, I get that, but
Right,
the
if they-
question is,
if
any
they-
business, any entity could apply
If they meet the criteria, yeah.
Yes.
using our membership, under our membership?
Well, since the town is participating, yes, they could join. But again, as Teresa indicated, I mean, again, I'm not getting into the,
Some people I don't.
We're the only town that's not participating in it. And again, it's not that, it's because they want to allow others to have the opportunity.
Well, why can't they apply under Clarkstown's umbrella?
They're not allowed. They're not in Clarkstown. If Clarkstown will let them, I'm okay with it, but I don't know if George Holman would be, Anyway, I think that was, we addressed the solars. Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we go into the? No? Okay.
First of all, I support the William Street proposal to stop trucks from going on it. I drive my little vans down there, or big vans, and I don't know how you could fit a tractor trailer, because I have enough trouble with just my electrical company truck, so I absolutely support that. And I do know there's some work planned in the near future in government terms means a few years, but to remedy the William Street Bridge. So there's going to be doing work on that, so I think it makes sense to stop the trucks now, so I do support that process.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. I think there are some other things in the works along 340, down past the firehouse, as well as the passing zone by the Little League Field and so on and so forth with speed limits as well. So I think that the laws were there when there was probably very little in Spark Hill, and I think that they need to be updated.
Yep, I guess, I mean, I'd be surprised if anyone up here doesn't support you guys,
Agree.
Clearly passed this law before they knew how you were gonna develop William Street and Spark Hill, so I support it. I'm sure Teresa and Brian do too.
Yeah, and then when it's done, we're going to have a big block party over there, so. Okay. Okay, so number 3, this is to postpone and continue the public hearing related to the zone change on Gatto Lane from July 26th to the regular town board meeting of August 23rd at 7:05 PM. Motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
Brian Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 4, postpone the public hearing related to the zoning code in the hamlet of South Nyack from August 9th to August 23rd at 7:10 PM. Motion?
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
Second.
Jerry Vitale, all in favor?
Aye.
And if any of you William Street people wanna leave, we
Yeah, we won't take it
offense.
personal.
You're welcome. All, the whole audience.
All right. Okay, so number 5, approve the Orangetown 2023 budget calendar.
Moved.
Tom Divany, second.
I'll second.
Brian Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Pretty authoritative over there, Brian.
He's really feeling his muscles there. He's like,
Ocean.
Number 6, change the day of the police commission meeting from August 9th to August 23rd. Motion?
I'll make a motion, because I'm not going to be here.
Okay.
All right, I'll second.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Set the date of August 23rd at 6 PM to hear Deemee's budget presentation. Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 8, set the date of September 7th at 5:30 regarding the town department's 2023 budget presentations. Motion?
Moved.
Second? Okay, Jerry Vitale, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 9, set the date for the regular town board meeting of September 13th for special districts budget presentations. Motion?
Yep.
Okay, Tom Divany, second. I know, doesn't it feel like, it's like that movie, Groundhog Day, where you keep, no, what's where you get up, it's the same thing every day? Groundhog Day.
Paul
I'm in
second.
Groundhog Day.
I second.
Okay, Paul Valentine, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so number 10, authorize the cooperation agreement with the Rocklin County Consortium, and again, it's going to be just, do we have it in here already? Subject to town attorney? Okay, so subject,
authorized supervisor to agreement, subject to approval.
subject to approval. by town attorney.
And what's your approval? I mean, what are
Well,
we
he's going to review the agreement.
Just
If there's
I'll
an
review
issue-
it, I'll send it
So
around to
we
everybody
approve it,
also.
But if he has a
before-
problem, he can override
Yeah,
us. So,
I'll
'cause
just
we- it's-
say,
If we're doing it,
we're
we have
not
to do
gonna-
it by,
The supervisor won't sign it if I don't approve it.
Yeah.
How about that?
that's what he thinks.
Why don't we just wait until?
I'll, s-
Because we have
well,
time-
it needs
there's
to
time
be, it
constraints.
needs to be
There's
approved.
time
If,
constraints.
August 1st, and we're not going to be here. till
Okay.
and I'll send it to the board, and if there's an issue, we
Right,
can
right.
not sign.
Okay, so subject to that change, can I get a motion? I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Nope.
Take a roll call.
Councilman Tom Devaney,
Nope.
Councilman Jerry Vitari,
Yes.
Councilman Brian Donahue,
I'm going to say no.
no? Councilman Paul Valentine,
Yes.
Supervisor Teresa Kennedy.
Yes. Okay, number 11, adopt the current base percentage and adjusted base proportions for the 2022 tax assessment roll. Motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
Eric Vitale in favor? Aye. Number 12, authorize dual assets to issue a supply RFP for an electricity supply agreement. Motion? This thing's awful long.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Listen, you guys owe me. I saved you a lot of money last time. Just don't expect it again. Number 13, authorize the town attorney to sign a settlement documents in a tax certiorari proceeding. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
You got that, Brian and Tom? Brian? All in favor?
Aye.
Grant a revocable license to Jonathan and Catherine Steller for the property on 236 Piermont Avenue. Motion?
Move.
Second?
Second.
Jerry Vitale, all in favor?
Aye.
Settle claim with the MTA for $940. Motion? Tom Tiffany move, second.
I'll second.
Brian Daniel in favor?
Aye.
Number 16, award a contract with Tilcon to do the milling on those roads. Motion? Jerry Vitale move, second.
I'll second.
Brian Daniel in favor?
Aye.
Approve the agreement with for the stormwater education program through Cornell Cooperative Extension of Rockland County. Motion? Tom Tiffany move, second.
I'll second it.
Paul Valentine, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, nominate Michael Monte, hope I'm saying it right, for temporary police officer, rest of the town of Orangetown. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Brian Donahue, second.
I'll second it.
Paul Valentine, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Nominate David Fong to the position of police officer.
Move.
Jerry Batari,
I'll second.
Brian Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Set the fees for certificate of compliance for fire prevention, amending the town code. Tom Tiffany move, second.
Yep, second.
Jerry Batari, second, all in favor?
Aye.
The pen stopped working. I don't know. Oh, well, I guess we congratulate him. You want to say something?
I just want to recognize that they're here and they want to come up with something.
I should have known. I was like, why are these two young, handsome men sitting here? Uh-oh, probably not.
Michael
allowed to say.
Manzi and David Fong.
Uh-huh.
You got it.
Congratulations and welcome aboard. Congratulations.
And you two are also free to leave if you don't want to stick around and hear the rest of this, but. Okay, number 21, accept with regret the retirement of Stephen Fordham.
He's back in the back.
Move.
Oh, he's back there too.
36 years.
After 36 years. I'm sorry, you moved?
Yep.
Jerry moved second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You escaped! Congrats! Number 22, appoint Kevin Mcgarvey to Assistant Maintenance Supervisor.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Congratulations.
Is that him back there too?
Enjoy retirement.
Is that Kevin McGuire?
Yeah, no, that's, that was also, Steve Ford, too?
I know.
Not the gallery, but,
I don't know. Okay, never mind. Okay, on the audit, go ahead.
Okay, the audit for tonight consists of 4 warrants for $878,000. First warrant had 29 vouchers for $79,000 and was for utilities. Second warrant had 6 vouchers for $61,000. Items of interest, number 1, NIPA, $21,000 for the streetlight project. The third warrant had 31 vouchers for $120,000. Fourth warrant had 178 vouchers for $616,000. Items of interest, number 7, Commissioner of Taxation and Finance, $16,000 for the second quarter workers' comp board payment. Number 10, DeLage Landon, $15,000 for golf cart leases. Number 11, Fanshawe, $67,000 for town hall electrical, bonded money. Number 12, Fred Devens Construction, $31,000 for a Tier 4 pump station project. That was also bonded money. Number 14, Global Montello, $86,000 for fuel. Number 18, Morano Brothers, $126,000 for the North Middleton Town Road project. Number 22, Seal Coat USA, $36,000 for highway repairs. Number 23, the State Comptroller, $24,000 for justice fines. And number 24, Tilcon, $18,000 for highway materials. Any questions on the audit?
No? Okay, can I get a motion to accept the audit?
Move.
Tom Divany moves, second. Brian Daniel, in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are going to be going to executive session to discuss the proposed acquisition, sale, lease of real property when publicity might affect value. We are not going to be coming out and voting on anything, but we do have a couple of adjournments. We have Joseph B. Clark, obviously, I think most of us, resident of Orangeburg, and Orangetown's first superintendent of Parks, Recreation, and Building Maintenance from 1969 to 1996. Tom Christopher Mooney, a resident of Orangeburg, and then William Tomford, a resident of Providence and a United States Marine Corps veteran. So can I get,
Supervisor, can I add my uncle who passed away last
you can
Frank Mishosha in Long Island.
say the name, last name again?
Spell it Mishosha.
Mushasha, okay. You're gonna have to give that one to Kimberly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so can I get a motion to go into?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.